So this morning I'm going to head down to the lakes at Mullingar to fly my drone. It's a good location, I'm hoping, and the morning though is a bit dull and a bit grey, it's drizzly, but at least I don't have any bridges to contend with, and it's a good open space. I have to be down and back fairly quickly because I've bread there that's proofing at the moment, so I have to be back at a particular time, but hopefully I get some good drone footage.
What is it, Bookie? Vitriol, the boy said.
Okay, so I'm down at Lough Owel in outside Mullingar, County Westmeath. It's between Mullingar and Longford, and unfortunately it's a terrible morning, and it's terrible because it's really grey and really foggy, and this would be a really good spot to be flying the drone and getting photographs as well if the weather wasn't so great. Unfortunately, it's absolutely appalling. You can see fog there now, and there's an island out there I see. It'd be nice to be able to fly out to the island and come back and so on. There's a walk down there I see as well, but unfortunately it is incredibly foggy. I might have a go, but we'll see. Anyway, I might have a go and see what it's like, but it's so grey. It's just so grey that I can't see any great use in it, but we'll have a look and see after coming this far. Unfortunately, it's just so grey, so foggy, so misty that it's impossible to get anything. There's a lovely island out there, a couple of islands out there. I'm sure it's a beautiful place on a lovely dry day, spring day or summer's day, but unfortunately this morning it's just so foggy and so misty that it's impossible to get any decent footage. So I'll have to bail, and I'll have to go home and perhaps come back tomorrow or some other day when it's not as misty and not as foggy. But Jesus, it's a lovely place, and I've driven past here so often on the way to Edgestown to try and collect rent in my apartments down there, but and obviously in building them. But it's a lovely place, great place to fly a drone actually, especially with the islands out there. But unfortunately it's no good today because it's just January, grey, misty, gun barrel grey day, so nothing I can do. I'll go home now, and I am going to, hopefully the weather will improve a little bit, it'll be a bit better at home, and I am going to just go down to the local field just down the road from me and just actually practice flying the drone, practice the skills and the manoeuvres and so on. I saw a video on YouTube last night, very useful, and just a number of exercises you can do in order to improve your skills as a drone operator, which will be useful, very useful, and it's good old crack as well. Obviously I can do that at home, close to home, and when the battery goes down then I can just tip up home and recharge it. But that's all I can do now today. That's all I can do today. Now, when I'm going back and when I was coming down here, I was listening to a book, an audiobook by Graham Greene called Brighton Rock. It's actually the second time I've listened to this particular book. It's absolutely excellent. If you've never read or listened to an audiobook before, I'd recommend trying the Audible app. Audible is owned by Amazon, and you can get the audiobooks then through Amazon or online. But they're superb, especially if the narrator is good, and obviously if the book itself is good. But Brighton Rock is a book I'm reading now, or listening to now again for the second time, and it is superb. It's narrated by a fella called Samuel West, and if you're into your English actors, into actors and so on, you'll recognise him probably as a decent actor. He's a brilliant narrator. It's a fantastic story, beautifully written by Graham Greene. I'm a huge fan of Graham Greene. But if you have never tried an audiobook before, the first book I suggest you get is a book called A Rage in Harlem. Can't remember who wrote it, but it is absolutely superb. I think it's narrated by Samuel L. Jackson, and it's written by a guy called Chester Hines, I think. A Rage in Harlem, but it would be actually a very, very good first book to read as an audio, or listen to rather, as an audiobook, because if you don't like that particular book, I don't think audiobooks are for you. I think you will enjoy it though. And Brighton Rock then I'd recommend very highly as well, so that's what I'm listening to at the moment, and I'm listening to that for the second time, and I haven't listened to any audiobooks twice before, so it's still very good. Graham Greene, brilliant writer, beautiful writer. Stopped here on the way home now at a place called Leinster Bridge. Leinster Bridge, if you've watched previous videos, crosses or spans the River Boyne, and this is where I lost my previous drone. And I'm going to have a look now under the bridge, without actually going under the bridge and run the risk of losing a second drone. I'm not going to go under the bridge, but I'm going to try and look in underneath the bridge, because it's possible that the previous drone hit the side of the bridge and fell down on a little shelf or plinth that's on each side of the arch. So it may not be in the water. There's a small chance that it could be sitting on a sort of a shelf or a ledge which is underneath the arch of the bridge, and if that's the case, then obviously I should be able to see it with the drone today, and I'll have to make arrangements then. I'll have to get a boat actually to get down, or a dinghy or something, because it's a very deep River Boyne. But it's worth a try, and I'm coming back from Mullingar now, and obviously I have battery in my drone, so I'm going to have a look and see, can I actually see if the first drone, which I lost about a fortnight ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, is still there. And as I say, if it is still there, I'm going to try and get it back at some stage. Didn't see any sign of the drone down there, and I was a bit afraid actually to go too close to it, because I was afraid of losing the signal again. I've had bad experience now with bridges and my drone, so I'm just not going to take a chance.